People, we're in the semi-final of the Champions League. Wake me up. I must be dreaming. No, I'm not shocked and stunned that we went through. I am shocked and stunned that we went through in that way. Every single player out there, Mikel Arteta, Arsenal Football Club can be proud. The fans can be proud. The fans were outstanding. Every single one of them in Madrid. Big yourself up. I hope you had an absolutely wonderful time. I hope you don't sleep throughout the whole night because you're out partying. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight, people. I'm buzzing. Yeah. I am so proud, so happy, so pleased and elated by the performance individually and as a team that I've seen. I'm absolutely over the moon. This, for me, will go down as one of the greatest nights that I've had supporting Arsenal Football Club. In terms of an individual game of an achievement, it will go down as one of the greatest and the most proudest that I've had. Because although we haven't won an FA Cup or a Champions League or a Premier League or a League Cup or a trophy, this was a position that no one gave us a chance in. Myself, others, Arsenal fans questioned, could we do it without a striker, without Gabriel, with an unfit Saka, with an out-of-form Martin Odegaard, with a player who's for the last 18 months been hot and cold in Martinelli, with an 18-year-old kid at left back? Talk to me, people. Talk to me. We've put in an unbelievable performance home and away. There's way too many players to talk about tonight. Way too many incidents to talk about tonight. Unbelievable amount of talking points. And we're going to unlock it. It is going to be unbelievable for the next few days supporting Arsenal. And I don't want to talk about PSG yet. I don't want to talk about Inter Milan or Barcelona or any of the other teams that we're going to be discussing tonight that are in this competition other than us. That is all we're talking about tonight. Yeah? What I want to talk about tonight is an individual brilliance of some players. And not just individual brilliance of players. Team effort. Mikel Arteta. Masterclass. Wonderful. Absolutely outstanding. And you know what? I didn't want to leave Box Park. We got kicked out in the end because they needed to shut. They needed to shut. And do you know what? My phone got to a stage where there was absolutely no storage left in it because of videos and photos that I've taken. And I'm like, all right, let's just go live when I get home. I don't care. Let's do it. Let's get the fast train back and let's talk. Because look, we've done it. 5-1. 5-1, you know. Nah, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I never would have had this. I predicted 2-1, but not to Arsenal. I thought it would be 2-1 Madrid. I thought we'd score, but I didn't see us winning the game 2-1. Now, let's start with them shutting the roof. They shut the roof. They wanted to make it hostile. They wanted to make it intimidating. They wanted to put us in the mud. They wanted to use all their tricks. They wanted to go through their dark arts. They wanted to look at their trick book. They wanted to get all the tricks in the book that they knew to try and make it a horrible experience for us. And we dealt with them. Mentally strong tonight. Passed the test. Tick for me. I don't want that Arsenal showing up against Newcastle and United this season when it mattered in those cups. I want the Arsenal of tonight. I want to look at that performance tonight and be proud of it in every way, shape or form because of how we played from minute one right to the end. And although there were some errors in the game, which there's going to be, although there were some pressure moments, which there's going to be, we came out on top and we deserved it. 5-1 winners of the aggregate. Nobody had this. Nobody said this was happening. There's absolutely nobody that explained, oh, this is going to go down X, Y, Z. 5-1. I can't believe it. I honestly am absolutely stunned that we've been able to, over 2 legs, destroy them, dominate them, and put them in the mud by 5 goals to 1. This is the greatest club in world football. This is the biggest club in world football. This is the most successful in world football. 15 Champions Leagues. They've won more Champions Leagues than we've won titles. Yeah? They are a outstanding team. They stink their way through. They find a way. They use every trick in the book. They try to do what they can to dive around and try and con referees. That's what they do. But they couldn't do it tonight. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you smash the likes up. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're going to be redirecting you later on to Lee's channel, who's going to be going very, very soon, doing emergency streams with everyone. But for now, you're here and you're locked in. I am absolutely over the moon. So when I look at the style of play at Arsenal, I question Mikel Arteta and say, why can't you play like that? Why can't you play like that? Because that was the 2022-2023 Arsenal tonight. That was what I saw in terms of style. Yeah. That was a beautiful game to watch. Great for the neutral, I'm sure. Probably nervy for us. But I've got to be honest with you. I was really, really impressed with how Arsenal played. Every single player on that pitch deserves praise tonight. Every single one. The manager, spot on across 2 legs. Brilliant balance of attack-minded play and defensively solid. Hell, we had to gift the goal to them. Yeah? We had to gift it to them. So that goal they've scored in 4 games that we've played them, yeah, back in 2006 and to now, hopefully it's a similar feel to 2006 when we got to the final. Who knows? It could be an Arsenal-Barcelona final, but we're not there yet. For me tonight, the most disappointing was individual errors and silliness. That's all I've got. Nothing else you're going to hear from me is negative. Disappointing that Saka took the penalty the way he did. Disappointing that Saliba made the mistake for the goal. Disappointing that Partey got a yellow card. More on those 3 scenarios in a bit. But other than that, I can't say I'm going to be talking negatively. It was an unbelievable game of football. And it's one that we can now be proud of. It's one that we can remember. It's one that we can look at as Mikel Arteta's reign and say, do you know what? Yeah, that's your best night. That's your best performance from team and manager. Without doubt, the best we've seen. Big up to Sam, who's redirected, by the way. He's just texted me. Absolute legend. Big up to all of you guys that have come over from Hassam's channel. Big up to all of you. There's over 600 of you in here already. Unbelievable. Really appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure you hit the like button, though. There's not even 100 likes, and there's over 600 of you. So please make sure you do me a favor and hit that like button. Big up to Sue. She says, big up to Dan in the community. Hit the like and subscribe. Big up to you, bro. Hope you enjoyed the watch along on AFTV. If you haven't checked it out, go check out the highlights on AFTV, please. Unbelievable scenes at Box Park. Absolutely incredible. Deserves a mention. Unbelievable scenes over at the Bernabeu. Brilliant from the Arsenal fans. They deserve a mention as well. It must have been absolutely electric as far as Real Madrid were concerned up until we killed them off. And do you know what? I've got to be honest with you. I cannot stop smiling. I can't stop smiling. Hassam, you're a legend. Make sure you're following my brother, Don Hassam. He's already flying. You're probably subscribed already. If you're not, make sure you do. I appreciate the raid, brother. I really do. And do you know what? Big up yourself, but you can hold that. Because you said we had 0% chance of beating them. And we're through. And it's 5-1. And yes, I will be shameless because I didn't think we'd win either. But we have. And we move. Now we've got to go and win the whole thing. But that's another scenario. Big up to us, Sam. Absolute legend, man. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the raid. Sports Genius says, Dan, the Madrid aura thing is corny. It's grown-ass men out there. Let's get it cracking with PSG and get the badge to the final. Come on, my bro. Let's get this sorted. Let's talk first, though, about how we can get some praise for some of these individuals that deserve it. Mikel Arteta, first of all, absolute W from you. Believed in what you have been working on in terms of your coaching with this 11. Didn't do anything silly in terms of team selection across the two legs. Dominated midfield. Were very, very resolute and compact at the back. And do you know what? It has to be said. To score 5 goals against Real Madrid across 2 legs is not easy. Had faith in the likes of Miles Lewis-Skelly to continue him. Used Marino in this auxiliary striker role where he's now scored an unbelievable amount of goals in just 10, 11 games. That, let's be real, if we would have bought a striker in January, we probably would have been praising him for. I've been so impressed, man. So impressed. So Mikel Arteta can hold a massive, massive W for this one. He deserves praise, and I don't care that people don't want to give it to him because they don't like him. He deserves it. We're giving it to him tonight. He has been outstanding. Yeah, we're giving him praise because he deserves it. Outstanding performance from him. I thought he was exceptional. And do you know what I loved? Martinelli going through the middle. Kieran Tierney and Ben White coming on when the game was won. Everything that he did was just spot on. Absolutely spot on. Big up. Big up. Now let's come to the individual performances. David Raya. Do you know what? David Raya didn't really have an awful amount to do tonight and in the first leg, but when he was called upon, reliable. Good saves, commanding of his area, collected when needed. Didn't play out from the back much tonight. Only time he did, we conceded, which was poor. But I don't really blame him solely for that. I think him and Saliba just messed that up completely. I don't think he should have rolled it out to him. I don't think Saliba should have not had the spatial awareness that he did. The rest is history. But you know what? Raya, when needed tonight, kept things safe and was good with us. So fair play to him. Now, we're going to come on to one of my favourite Arsenal players this season. Our right back is one of the best right backs in the world right now. Talk to me about Trent. Talk to me about Hakimi. Talk to me all you want about any other right back in world football right now. They are on par with this guy because his defending is elite. His athleticism is outstanding. His consistency is superb. He's got an unbelievable ability on the ball. His passing superb. His tackling, his defending, his offensive play. I think he is all round outstanding. How you can keep Vinny this quiet over 2 legs? Oh, he's not that great, Vinny Jr. This guy's up for Ballon d'Or all the time. This guy's putting in unbelievable performances. This guy is someone that we've been told is one of the best players in the world. He was outstanding, Jurrien Timber. Yet again. What more can I say about this guy? He's a phenomenal talent. There's nothing else to say. He is a phenomenal, phenomenal player. And I really was a fan of Ben White at right back. And I think most people understand why. The reason I'm a fan of Ben White is because defensively he's good. His overlapping's been good with Saka. And he's a player that I've had a lot of time for in terms of his attitude and his shithousery. But Jurrien Timber is a level above. He's absolute class. Everything. This guy will be remembered as the best right back of the Emirates era. He will, if not already, be remembered as better than the majority of them other than Bakary Sagna. I think Bakary Sagna was probably one of the best in the Emirates era. For me, Jurrien Timber is already looking like he's going to be on par with him very soon, and he will leapfrog him. He has got a lot more to his game, and I was a big fan of Sagna. Really big fan. I love him, people. I love him. I keep saying I think he's Arteta's best signing alongside Gabriel. And Rice will be up there, of course, but I do think he's better than Odegaard and all the rest of them. I think Gabriel and Rice are the only two that come near. Timber is absolutely unbelievable. What a signing, what a player, 38 million well spent, and what a shame that he was out with an ACL last season. Imagine if he wasn't. Now I want to come over to the other fullback. This left back, who isn't a left back, who looks like he could be a left box to box, but can play left back, is turned into one of the most amazing 8 months that I've seen in a young footballer. That you can get a chance to go and play for Arsenal in pre-season, to then be called up to the bench and get a chance to sit on the bench and hope that one day you might get a chance, and then to actually get your chance a couple of times, then to be given the left back opportunity, take it and deliver consistently in a way that allows you to get called up by your country, to start that game at left back and to score on your debut, to then keep the dream going, play in the Champions League, hold down a spot, have a viral video of your mum as a proud as punch, and then put in 2 performances back to back within 1 week against Real Madrid in the way this kid has? Nah, this don't happen every week, people. He's 18 years old, and I honestly believe he's probably one of the strongest players on the ball in the team. The ball retention is scary. He waltzes past players. He drives past them with the ball at his feet and no one can touch him. He's got an unbelievable amount of potential. The ceiling is incredibly high. I'm not talking about this guy now as a bracket of he might be okay. I think this guy will be sensational. Now, I don't want to start comparing him to Ashley Coles and Fabregas's, Saka's, Wilshire's, and other players that have come through our academy, but I think I have to put him in now as the best young player of the year. He's completed every single task that's been given to him. Play for your country, tick. Score on your debut, tick. You've got your cap now. What you're doing for your club? Well, you're playing in Champions League games and you're beating Real Madrid. Let me tell you this. When you go into the Arsenal team, people always ask the question, can you deliver at the top level in this game? Lewis-Skelly already just has. Lewis-Skelly has done it for England. He's done it for Arsenal. He's done it in the league. He's done it in the Champions League. And he's gone and done it in the quarterfinals of the Champions League against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Nobody tell me this guy ain't fearless, ain't got confidence, ain't got coolness, calmness, composure. Oh, he's got a bad discipline. Well, he looked all right tonight, didn't he? He kept his head. I've got so much time and love and respect for this guy. There is absolutely nobody that can tell me that they've got question marks over Miles Lewis-Skelly. He is a phenomenal footballer. And he is one that is going to be, I think, going to the very, very top. And do you know what you always know when there's a player that's going to be good? Because rival fans shut up about him. They do one or two things. They slate him like they have done in social media, yeah? Or they just shut up about him. They know he's good and they hate it. The rival fans can't stand it. So for me, we've got something very, very special here with Miles Lewis-Skelly. Very, very special, people. He is going to be an absolute superstar. And I said on my fan cam on AFTV tonight this. He would walk into Real Madrid's back line. Walk in as a left back. I think he's better, from what I've seen, than Mendy. I think he walks in ahead of him. I think he walks in ahead of Garcia. I think he walks in ahead of Alaba. This kid is special, people. And I said don't overhype him and call him Ashley Cole. But do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hype him enough to believe that he would absolutely, hands down, walk into Real Madrid's left-back spot. That's how good he is. So listen, we know. We see him every week. He won't get the praise from the rivals because they're quiet, because I don't want to admit it. But they know he's quality. Now let's look at the centre-back pairing. I would like to mention Saliba first because I think we just need to touch on the error. We touch on the error. Look, it was bad. Reyes rolled it out. There was pressure on him. He had no spatial awareness. He didn't realise Vinny was on him. And you could see straight away by his facial expressions, he was really, really upset and distraught by it. Now, he didn't let his head drop. The rest of the game, he saw it out. But what really frustrated me was he was so good up until that point. He literally kept Mbappe quiet, kept him in his pocket. And it was actually goal they scored when he came off. Yeah, Mbappe. That was when they actually scored. So for me, we gave them that goal. But he is an absolutely outstanding defender. And you can see why Real Madrid want him. Good news today, sounding like he wants to sign a contract to Arsenal. Yeah, they admire him and they believe that they'll probably get him in a few years' time. But right now, he's a gooner. He's signing for the Arsenal. And do you know what? Give him 350 a week. I don't care what he wants. He can have whatever he wants. That kid is unbelievable at 24 years old. Haven't seen anything like him at centre-back in a long time. He's now doing it against the very best. He isn't coming up against Christian Benteke's and who else can I say? The likes of, I don't know, Gabby Agbon-Lahore or Darren Bent, who were half decent back in their day. He's coming up now against Kylian Mbappe, Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, Jude Bellingham, and he ain't giving him a sniff. Love Saliba. So much time for him. There was absolutely no hassle whatsoever caused by Kylian Mbappe because of how good William Saliba was, guys. Yes, he made a mistake. First one in a while. But let's be real. He was phenomenal for the majority of the game. But let me mention his partner tonight. Because he, unlike William Saliba, funny enough, we don't say this often, but he was faultless. He was flawless. His last-ditch defending was incredible. And I thought that the phenomenal performance kind of backed up some of the individual moments in the game where he got his head on it, he got his foot on it, interceptions, duels won, positioning, holding of the line, defending from corners. One bit of composed play where he ended up heading the ball to Raya. He was so good. He was so good. And what's mad for me is, I was having a chat with a couple of mates tonight. I think when Saliba and Kiwior have played together, they've looked really good. But I look at Kiwior's individual performances where he's made mistakes, and I'm sure the majority of them have been when he's been playing at left back. Fulham last year, Leroy Sané against Bayern Munich. Don't forget that Kiwior was given the nod by Arteta in a title race. I'm not saying that I rate him and think that we need to keep him, but I'll be honest with you. I don't mind if he stays. Because if he plays like that, as long as he's our left-sided centre-back cover for Gabriel, I'm calm. Because he's been good. Man, player of the match against Everton. Really good against Real Madrid. Played really well tonight. So far, he's showing that he can back up for Gabriel and come forward when counted upon and when asked to. Those two tonight were outstanding. And yeah, it's frustrated the way that we conceded the goal. It was. But it is what it is. Then we come into midfield. Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey, you are incredible. You're an unbelievable athlete. You're a phenomenal footballer. You're an intelligent player. You make the role look so easy. And you know what? I think he's one of the most disrespected players in the Premier League. I'm going to say it now. I'll tell you why. Because when people talk about holding midfielders, they talk about Rodri, rightly so. And then they'll talk about Ryan Gravenberch. And then they'll talk about Caicedo. And then they'll talk about Baleba. And then they'll talk about Adam Wharton. And they'll talk about some of the other players like Lavia that have hardly kicked a ball for Chelsea. Ahead of this guy. This guy is phenomenal, people. And he is going to be a big miss to the Arsenal if he goes on a free. I would give him a 1-year contract now. Sign him up. He's been brilliant. Because Zubi Dooby Doo, people can talk to me about, but he ain't nowhere near as good as Thomas Partey. He ain't. He ain't. But you know what frustrated me tonight? His yellow card. Why get involved? When you're on a yellow and you know that you are going to be suspended for the next game, you cannot get a yellow card that easily. Fair if it's a last-ditch tackle, he's gone in a bit late. You can hold your hands up and go silly, but you know what? He went for the ball. When you get that childish and immature to go in for a pathetic argument with Rudiger, who knows what he's doing, and you get a yellow, that was just madness for me. And we'll miss him in the first leg against PSG. Let me tell you. Timber was lucky tonight that he didn't get a yellow card. I thought he was on the mark quite a bit. Declan Rice did get a yellow card and would have been out as well. However, because the penalty was then rescinded, he therefore did not get his yellow card. So we're lucky we ain't losing Timber, Rice, and Partey for this first leg. Now, what I will say is they've all gone now. Yellow cards have all started again. Semi-finals onwards, we start again. But unfortunately, today was the last one. So when I look at what Partey did, I can't forgive him for that. It was poor. Very, 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 very poor. That's the way I see it. So, look, I was disappointed with Partey getting that yellow, but I wasn't disappointed with his performance. I just thought he was incredible. I thought he was outstanding in every way. Martin Odegaard, our captain, our leader. Unfortunately, he dropped a bit of another meh game. The worst player, in my opinion, tonight was Martin Odegaard on the Arsenal side. And he wasn't a shambles. He wasn't awful. He kept the ball moving. He pressed. He did what Odegaard does. But he weren't good enough. He stunk, in fact. His decision-making, his failure to shoot, pull the trigger, rather flick it, rather trick it, rather pass it. He's got to have a dig. And when he did have a dig, it weren't good enough. So I was disappointed with him tonight, yet again. And I have to just say, I can't defend him anymore. When people say that he's not our best player, that he's not a great captain, that he's not this and that, I can go along with that. When people say he's not a good footballer, I've always said he's technically gifted. But he hasn't turned up this season. With 2 goals and 4 assists, that's not good enough in 27, 28 games. I don't think he is a leader and a captain, and I think tonight he proved that really there was Declan Rice who was showing that he's the captain on the pitch. But let's not say that Martin Odegaard was shocking, because he wasn't. But let's just be real, he didn't have a very good game again. But I tell you who did, people. £105 million Declan Rice had a good game. And in fact, he didn't have a good game. He had an elite level game. This is the Real Madrid that he's coming up against. A midfield that consists of Valverde, Jude Bellingham, Tchouaméni, last week Camavinga, Modric. These players are world-class, elite level, Ballon d'Or winning midfielders. And Declan Rice has been the best midfielder across both legs. Unbelievable in the first with his free kicks and his box-to-box. Athleticism, work, drive on the ball. Tonight, I don't have a clue where he played. I don't know if he was the 6, the 8, the 68, the 10, the right back, the striker, the left back, the centre back, or the goalkeeper. Because he covered every blade of grass, was by far our best player, has shown everybody why we paid 105 million for him, and nobody has said that it was a waste of money or that we overpaid. He is quite incredible as a footballer. Now, I've been quite critical of his positioning and said I think he's a 6, not an 8. I think he's I don't care, man. I do not care. I do not give a damn right now, because where he played tonight was absolutely outstanding. Big up to Flawless for the raid every single time. Absolute love, bro. Thank you so much. Make sure you're following Sarcasm City TV. You know where it is, people. I'm sure most of you have subscribed, but please make sure that you do that. We've got 1,146 people in here, and we have only got not even 250 likes. Let's hit the like and subscribe button, people. They're both free. Big up to you. Really appreciate it. And you know what? We're going to move to 2 Declan Rice man of the matches to our front 3. I'm going to start with our striker, Mikel Merino. Wow. Do you know why I'm going to clap that guy tonight? Because everything that I saw him do was an outstanding, hard-working, tirelessly using every single attribute that he has to put in a really good performance for Arsenal Football Club. Brilliant pass for the goal. Superb header for the actual goal itself, which was the build-up play. Brilliant from Merino all round physically. And if I'm honest with you, yeah, I'm going to say it. And I'm going to say this. I don't know that people are going to like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say this. Mikel Merino is a better striker than Kai Havertz. There we go. Clip me up if you want. Clip me up if you want. Mikel Merino is a better striker than Kai Havertz. I think he's a better finisher. I think his all-round play is better. I think he works just as hard. I think he's better in the air. I think he's just as good, if not better, physically. He is a better striker than Kai Havertz. We bought him as a midfielder, but he is a better number 9. I honestly think that is one of the best performances that Marino's had, and he was a striker. He was brilliant, people. He's been the best signing for us this summer. It's not hard because the other 3 have hardly played. Neto definitely hasn't. Sterling's hardly got a look in, and Calafiori's been injured. So it's not particularly not particularly hard, should I say. But Mikel Merino. And you know what? Hats off to Mikel as well for noticing that he could play there in an auxiliary striker position for now. You know what? If I'm picking the team with everybody fit right now, he starts up front for me. And that's mad, you know. Kai Havertz don't get in this side now. Mikel Merino has proven he can do Havertz's role on less money, weekly, by the way. What an unbelievable performance from Mikel Merino. I thought he was excellent. I've got to say it. Sue says, let's talk about Kiwior and Merino, the amount of criticism they received. What a performance today. So far, we've not missed Gabby or 29. Couldn't say it better myself, Suj. Bruv, spot on in everything you've said. Sean says, big up from Dublin, Dan. Come on, we got this. Big up to you, my bro. Thank you so much for that, Sean. Absolute legend. Really appreciate that. Oregon Gooners gifted 5 memberships. Big up to you. What a night. It's a night for celebration. We've got 1.2k people in the building, people. Let's hit the like and subscribe, shall we? Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Martinelli. Oh, wow. Gabby. Was as impressed with him tonight going forward as I was going back. Defensively, he was outstanding. Working tirelessly. 110%. I liken Iwobi and Welbeck to him in terms of the work rate. He's got more quality on the ball, of course he has, right? Danny Welbeck and Iwobi gave 110%, and Martinelli does exactly that. And that's why those two lasted long at Arsenal and much longer than some of the likes of the others that haven't been able to. Because Martinelli tonight was excellent. Martinelli is starting to show glimpses of the old Martinelli now. Now, it's a good time because we're talking about what we need in the summer and that position is being questioned. I think he's ahead of Leandro Trossard by quite some distance now. I also think when we're on the attack, he's one of our most threatening now. He's decided at times to take on his man, even though tonight there wasn't a real need for him to. I'd like to have seen it a bit more at times, but actually, I thought he was a very, very good player for us tonight. You know, I spoke to my dad, big up to my dad. He said I probably would have given him close to man of the match. I thought he was that good. And you know what? Against Fulham, he was brilliant. Went a bit quieter against Everton, but everyone was. Yeah, he was fairly disappointing in games, in my honest, about against Brentford. And for honest, most of the season, he's been up and down. But I've seen some really good performances, both against Fulham and now Madrid, home and away, which gives me some faith that we could still be keeping him and giving him a part of our squad. I was so happy for him tonight. So happy. I've got so much time for him. I love players like him. He gets me out of my seat. He's a flair player. And when he went through at the end, just wow. He went through at the end and it reminded me of when he scored against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge a few years ago and when he scored against Villa at Villa Park a couple of seasons ago. He is a very underrated finisher, Martinelli. Unless it's a wide angle where he's kind of not expected to score, I always have faith that he's going to put it in the back of the net. And you know what? Big up to Mikel Arteta for throwing him on at a higher end of the game towards the central area where he's put through. Yes, it was more towards the left, but he was actually playing towards the middle by the end of that game with Trossard, who had just come on. I think Martinelli deserves an unbelievable amount of credit in the last couple of months. I think he's been really good. So for me, tonight, if I'm giving him a rating, it's a high one. He was excellent. Absolutely excellent. I'm not going to mention the players that come on because when we obviously killed the game off with Martinelli, Ben White, and of course Tierney came on. But I'm going to finish with the guy that's on the back of my shirt, Bukayo Saka. Yeah, the talking point was the missed penalty. And let me just say straight away, he disappointed me there. I never ever slate Saka. He's the one player that I never will slate. But I was disappointed with the way that he finished that penalty. When you get a penalty like that and you get a chance to kill the game off, you've got to drill it home. You've got to hit it. You've got to put it top bins, left, bottom, right, wherever you go. He's got to hit the net. Now, I wouldn't have minded if he would have drilled it and it was like, wow, Courtois, that was an incredible save. But he's tried to do the Podenka and it's gone wrong. Let's just be real. He has. Yeah. You can't take a penalty like that, people. You can't. He's tried to be cocky. I think he's tried to be, maybe his little bit of arrogance has shone through there. I think he's seen the moment and thought, I imagine I win the tie by doing this. And Courtois saved it. And you know what? It lifted the crowd a bit. And it frustrated me because I thought that was there for the taking to just kill the game off. Little did I know it would get better later on. At the time, I was even frustrated. So I think he was a little bit embarrassed by that. You see his face after Rudiger jumped into him because he was basically giving it to him. But boy, did he turn back up and make up for it. The pass from Marino is exquisite, by the way. Absolutely ridiculous. So he should have scored the penalty, but he gets put on a plate for him by Marino. And that little dink is so good, man. It's so good. It's got to be inch perfect. The timing's got to be on point. Courtois comes out. He's done all he can. And Saka dinks it over him. And we're in dreamland. We can't believe what we're seeing. We've got no idea what's happening. But we are somehow winning at the Bernabeu. And it's incredible. We celebrate like crazy. At Box Park, we're going mad. And then before I can sit down, it's 1-1. And I'm not going to go through that again. The penalty, both the penalties, were they penalties? I'm still not sure, you know. I think they're soft. If you give one, you've probably got to give the other. Both of them probably aren't. Maybe both of them are. I really don't know anymore. When you're putting your hands round, it's soft, but you're giving the referee a decision to make. And Declan Rice does do that with Kylian Mbappe. With Mikel Merino, he actually grabs hold of him first, and Asensio then just grabs hold of him. So both are probably penalties in terms of the hold they've got on each other. But let's just be real. They're both very soft, aren't they, if they're given? So one of them's overturned. Our one's remained. We missed it, and it's all to play for again. Now, when Saka scores, we believe in now it's relief. But straight away, boom, they're back into it. And then, of course, Martinelli comes through. And it's a brilliant pass to him as well from Marino. 2 assists. A great, cool, calm, composed finish. So I look at the scenario right now of those individuals that have played tonight, and I think, wow, no Havertz, no Jesus, no Gabriel, no left back, really, because Lewis-Skelly's come in. A Saka who's half fit. Martinelli, who's apparently out of form and has been for a while. Ødegaard definitely is out of form. Rice, who I'm not really comfortable with in that position, but he's playing there at the moment. Yeah. Weren't bad, was it? Weren't bad. In fact, it was outstanding. I'm elated. I'm buzzing. I won't be sleeping tonight, even though I'm knackered. I'm exhausted. I'm drained because it take it out of me. But you know what? I enjoyed every single minute. And this is what we live and breathe for, people. People they're going to make it so hard for us. They're going to shut the roof. It's going to be hostile. Don't cry about that because they did all that and more. And they lost 5-1 over 2 legs. So they shut the roof, but they couldn't shut their goal, as Robbie said. So let's be real. We're now in a position where we're on a high. Talk to me about PSG if you want. Talk to me about Inter Milan and Barcelona if you want. But let me tell you this. We have to win 2 games to win this competition. Don't have to win 3. We have to win in the final. But to get to the final, we've got to win against PSG. Don't have to win both legs. But we definitely got to win one of them. That's the way I see it. Big up to Flawless, bro, every time. Sarcasm City TV. Make sure you're following. Thanks for the raid, my bro. Absolute legend. Thank you so much, man. Bikash, thanks for the super sticker as well. Really appreciate you, bruv. Thank you so much. And thank you all. Hit the like and subscribe, people, because there's nearly 1.2k in here, which is crazy. We're all loving it. We're all enjoying it. We're all here for the ride. PSG will be difficult. But you know what? They can be got at. Because as much as their front three is phenomenal, Aston Villa scored against their defence and made it tricky for them. They were at the back and they were literally peppered by 3 goals. So, yeah, we can do some damage to PSG. I'm not saying we're going to batter them. I'm not saying we're going through. But could we cause damage to them? Absolutely. Will we? Well, I hope so. We've got a good front three as well right now, believe it or not, in Saka, Martinelli and Marino. Yeah, it might not be as good as Doué and as Barcola and Kvaratskhelia and Dembele on their day, but do you know what? We can cause damage to them. Defensively, we're resolute, we're compact. We've shown that we can keep clean sheets. And we've also shown that we can dominate in midfield. Now, one thing I will say, Thomas Partey is going to be a miss because their trio in midfield of Neves, Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz is ridiculously good. And their front 4-5 players, Doué and Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, they still got Ramos as well to come on. Yeah, they're going to be a handful, aren't they? But they can be got at defensively. We see Rashford absolutely tear them a new one. Why can't Martinelli or Saka do that? Of course they can. So look, let's not be downhearted that we've got a top side in PSG because we're a top side. Yeah, we might not get across the line. I still might not be convinced that Arteta's the guy to get us across the line. But we've got a bloody good team that can hurt people. That's for sure. Big up to Chris as well from Loaded Mag and UFC. Absolute legend, man. I hope you're well, bruv. Only 348 likes. Come on, chat. Hit that like and show Dan and the channel your support. I really appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much. Yeah, 348 likes. Let's get that up to 500 likes at least, people. Come on. Big up to you guys. Come on. Look, PSG is going to be tough home and away. We've got them first at home. We go away to them, I believe, on the 6th of May. Let's hope that by the time we go away, we're 2-0 up again. Or 3-0 up again would be even better. Because that means we don't have to win again the second leg. And then it's rolling the dice in the final. Now, if we're lucky enough and we're skipping ahead here, which is never a good place to be putting yourself. But I've said that I would rather have PSG and I'd rather have Barcelona in the final. But I could eat my cake. I could eat my words. I could say, I want PSG, we could go out. I want Barcelona, we lose in the final. I don't want Inter Milan at all. And when they were on the other side of the group, I was happy. I think they've conceded 5 goals in this competition. Actually, make that 6 now because obviously tonight, I think it was 4 goals. Now it's another 2 tonight, or it might be 5 goals, another 2. So it's either 6 or 7 they've conceded, which is not a lot, by the way, in the whole of this competition so far. They're very hard to score against, very hard to beat. Barcelona, unbelievable again, similarly to PSG, but they can be got out of the back. PSG against Barcelona would probably be for the neutral, the best final. But let's be real. I want Arsenal and Barcelona there. That's what I want to be having now. And then we have to roll the dice. We really do. That's where we're at. Look, I don't care what happens in the league anymore. In fact, the league games for me are just fixtures that get in the way. Do not put anybody at risk so they're out of that Champions League game. I want to see Ben White playing. I want to see Zinchenko playing. I want to see Kieran Tierney playing. I don't care if Neto's in goal anymore. I want to see Ethan Nwaneri. I want to see Trossard. I want to see Sterling. These are the players that need to be coming in now for these league games because it really doesn't matter As long as we don't come 6th, yeah, it doesn't bother me if we finish in the top 5 if we win that Champions League. Do not sacrifice Palace at home, Bournemouth at home, Ipswich away, Liverpool away, Newcastle at home, Southampton away. None of those games need to be sacrificed for the Champions League game. That, for me, is absolutely crazy. Champions League is the only thing we can do. Yeah? And that's where I'm at right now. Where are we in terms of favourites? Well, big up to Boston in the chat, because apparently we're now favourites to win the Champions League. Can you believe it? By Arsenal knocking out Madrid, the Opta supercomputer predicted they would before the ties were played. They're now favourites to win the Champions League for the first time. 28.7%. Wow. How are we favourites ahead of PSG or Barcelona? I don't get that, or Inter Milan, but there we go. We are. Do you know why I think we are? Because we've just beaten Real Madrid. That's why. That's why. Sue says, I won't dampen the mood, but imagine if we played like this in the league. It's a good place of where I want to finish. It really is. Legend Albert. Love Albert JTV. Go show some love, people. Come on. Bikash says, beating Barca in the final would be the fairy tale ending. It would. I want revenge for 2006. If he wins this Champions League, hail him. Hail him. It's a big if, but if he does, wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. It has a bit of a feel about 2006 to it, I can't lie. But 2006 didn't end the way I wanted it to. We got to the final and it failed. The goalkeeper got sent off. Rather that goal had been gone in and then we have 11 men, but it didn't work out that way. And we were 20 minutes away from winning the Champions League. I honestly do believe we have a great chance of getting to the final. I'm not saying we're going to win it. I'm not saying we're going to get to the final. But I think we've got a great chance of getting to the final. If I had to put money on it, I never do with Arsenal, I would bet Arsenal to beat PSG over 2 legs. They're very good. If they're clinical, they'll hurt you. But we're good defensively. We can dominate midfield. Excuse me. See, I'm getting tired. I told you I'm exhausted. And we can get into a stage where we can cause them some problems with Saka and Martinelli, who at the moment look very, very good. Marino, big up to him. Erdegaard needs to step up. Declan Rice, unbelievable. Thomas Partey, give this guy a new contract. Saliba and Kivior, put some respect on the partnership because in 10 games, they ain't lost a game now. And Timber and Lewis-Skelly, just wow. Just wow. So look, rotation for Ipswich on Sunday. I'll be going. Hopefully we win the game. But it's all about the Champions League now, isn't it? These fixtures in the Premier League are just getting in the way, people. Look, you're going to be redirected over to Lee's stream. Make sure you do me a favor and say hashtag pray for Madrid. That's what I want you to say. Because trust me, they need to be praying. We battered them 5-1 on aggregate. 5-1. Big up to all of you for your super chats. Big up to all of you for hitting the like and the subscribe button. And make sure that you say hashtag pray for Madrid raid. Dan Potts sent me. That's what needs to be said. Big up to you. Everybody, please enjoy this evening and go and show Lee Gunnar some love right now. We'll see you next time, people. That is if he's live, actually. Is he live? Someone let me know if he's live. Is he live yet? Because you know what he's like. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. Is he live? No, he's not. Oh, yes, he is live. He is live. There we go. He is live. Just about live. So we're going to go over there and show him some love. Let's do it, people. Big up to you all. Take care. And we'll see you next time. We're out of here.